Hello, how are you today? Great, why don't you come on through and take a seat there behind you? Great, just make yourself comfortable and just relax. So you are here today for a cranial nerve examination, is that right? Wonderful. Well, it's lovely to have you back here. As you're aware, I am Dr. Lottie and I will be performing your cranial nerve examination today. Now, if my notes here are accurate, I believe you came in not too long ago, so it's always nice to see you back here so soon. And it's great that you're back here for another cranial nerve examination, just to check that all of your senses are working perfectly fine. So, let me just confirm your details. I have got them all here, and although I didn't see you too long ago, I just need to check with you that these are all up to date. So, if you would just confirm your date of birth for me, please. Okay, great. And your address. And your contact number. Okay, great. And any allergies or medication that you're on at the moment? No? Fantastic. Okay, so no changes there, which is always good to know. Now, although you have been to see me before for a cranial nerve examination, it is protocol for me to just run through with you exactly what this examination entails, just so that you know what is yet to come. Obviously, the cranial nerve examination is purely to assess your senses and how they're working. So we're going to start off by looking at your eyes. So I'm going to be using my torch, and I'm just going to be having a look to see how well your eyes are going to respond to the light, obviously monitoring your pupil dilation. And then we're going to move on to your eye's ability to focus. So I'm going to be moving my pen, and you're just going to be following that pen. And then we're going to move on to assessing your sense of taste. So I'll have a few flavours for you to taste, and you are just going to have to identify those for me. Very nice and straightforward. And then similarly we're going to go on to assess your sense of smell, and again we're just going to offer you some scents for you to then identify as well. And then next we move on to assessing your hearing. So I'm just going to recite some words to you, and then you're going to repeat those back to me. And then finally we will be assessing your sense of touch. So I will just be touching your face in certain areas, and all you will have to do is let me know the sensitivity of those certain areas of your face. Okay? Great. So now that you know exactly what it is we will be doing today, we can get started. But before we do, I'm just going to pop on my gloves, okay? And I'm just going to be sanitising my hands before with a hand sanitizer here, which is cucumber and mint. And this is just going to kill any bacteria on my hands before tapping on the gloves just to further prevent any transfer of germs, bacteria. Okay. Obviously, we like to make sure that we are practicing the most extensive and effective forms of hygiene precaution. So just applying this sanitizer is going to really help with that. Okay, now let me just pop on my gloves and then we can get started. These are a little bit small. I really should make sure to get some larger sizes. Fab. So now that my gloves are on, let's proceed to the first part of the examination, and we will start by looking at your sense of sight. So I just have here my torch, and all I'm going to do is just shine this into your eyes and observe any reactions of your pupils, okay? Good. Just look straight ahead for me. I'm just going to come a little bit closer, and very gently I'm just going to place my thumb above your eye there to have a really good look in your right eye. Good. And then over to your left eye. And then just keep looking straight ahead for me. So everything is looking perfect there. Your pupils are dilating and constricting when needed. So whenever I'm shining the light into your eye, they are very much constricting and getting quite small. But then when I move the light away from your eye, they are dilating nice and quickly. And in general just being very responsive and efficient, which is wonderful news. So I'm just making note of that result here, and it's actually very similar to how you were last time, which is great. So we're now going to observe how well your eyes can focus on a certain object, and we're just going to be using this pen again. So I'm just going to be moving this around your field of vision, and all I want you to do is focus on the pen as it's moving around, just so I can assess how well you can focus on moving objects. Okay, great. So just keep your eyes on the pen. Amazing. That's it. You're doing really, really well. Fantastic. I'm just going to come a little bit closer now, okay? Good. Fantastic, you're doing so well. Well done. So you can relax those eyes now. And again, really, really well done. Your eyes are able to focus really, really well on an object, even when they're moving closer towards you and further away, not just around in the same dimension. You're really able to focus nicely on objects moving in any direction, which is fantastic. So I've just made note of that one, and again, the similar result to last time. Really, really good. So now that we have finished with your sight test, we can move on to your taste. So like I said, I'm just going to be offering you a few different flavours, and all I need you to do is identify those for me. Okay, so they are very distinct, commonly known flavours, so you shouldn't have too much difficulty in identifying those. Okay, so I have a few different vials here, and they all contain a flavour. Okay, and these flavour drops, I'm just going to place one or two onto the tip of your tongue, and then you can just tell me what it is that you can taste. Okay, so we'll start off with this one here. I'm just going to get the pipette and place a few drops onto your tongue. So if you just poke your tongue out there, good, and 1, 2, there we are. So just have a little think, take your time. Sometimes it can be quite difficult to identify flavours. Lemon, yeah, is correct. Start off with a nice easy one. Okay. Now I'll just get the next vial here. And we can just get a few of the drops up there. Okay, and again, if you'd like to pop your tongue out for me. Good. 1, 2, 3 drops this time. And again, just take your time and have a little think. Yes, that one was licorice. Well done. Good, okay, so we'll move on to the next one now. This one is one of my favourites. It's quite delicious. Okay, so that's it. Just pop a few drops onto the tongue. There we go. Any idea what that is? Bubblegum, yeah. That one is quite a nice one, isn't it? Nice and sweet. Okay, so we'll move on to the next one now. Now this one is a little bit more hard, but again it should be quite a distinctive flavour. There we go, so just hold your tongue out for me. And 1, 2, 3 drops there. Any idea what that might be? Yeah, I know this one's a little bit more tricky. Yeah, it is honey. Well done, not many people get that one actually. I think it all depends whether you have honey or not. Okay, so we're moving on to the final flavour now, and this one is quite easy, but it's a different type of flavour altogether. So this one's just going to be an indication as to whether you can detect this flavour. Okay, just pop a few drops on the tongue. Good. Yes, that one is chili. It's not too spicy for you, is it? No? Good. Sometimes people can find it a little bit overwhelming, but we try and source a quite mild chili for that one. Brilliant. So you passed that one with 100%, which is great. So now we'll move on to the smell, which is a similar test in the sense that you're going to be identifying certain products through your sense of smell. Okay, so again we have here some vials that contain a liquid that, instead of being placed on your tongue, is just going to be held underneath your nose, and you can just give it a little sniff and decide on what you smell. Okay, so starting off with the first one here, just pop that underneath your nose. Now, what do you think you can smell there? Mint. Okay, brilliant. That was peppermint to be precise, but as long as you can detect the mint smell, then that is fine. Okay, we'll move on to the next one now, which is in this vial here. This one's a little bit more subtle, but again, it's quite a distinctive smell. That's okay, just take your time. Do you think you have an idea? Vanilla? Yes, well done. That one is quite a nice one, isn't it? It reminds me of scented candles. Okay, so moving swiftly on to the next scent in this vial here. There we are, so just give that one a quick sniff. Yes, cinnamon. That's another pleasant smell. I think that always reminds me of Christmas. Brilliant. So the last two are fairly floral and herbal. So again, some really pleasant smells, which are quite nice to have to identify. So there we are, just give that one a quick smell. That's okay, just take your time. Any idea there? Rose, yes. Well done, so I'll just pop a tick next to that one. And we'll move on to the final smell. Just find the correct vial. Yes, there we are. Just give that one a quick sniff for me. Yes, well done. Chamomile. That's a really lovely calming scent, I find. Nice one to finish on. Brilliant. So again, 100% correct there. I can see that your sense of smell, along with your sense of taste and sight, is working perfectly, which is wonderful. Okay, so we're now going to move on to your hearing test, and I have here 12 different words that I'm going to recite to you, and I'm going to do them in sets of 3. So I have 4 sets of 3 words, and for 2 of those sets I'm going to be reading those into your right ear, and then for the other 3 sets I'm going to be reading those into your left ear. And this is just to make sure that your hearing in each ear is working well. Okay, so let's start off over in your right ear. Okay, and I'm just going to read out the words, and then I'd like you to repeat those back to me if you would. Okay? Great. Pumpkin, shimmer, peach. I'm just going to repeat those once more for you. Okay. Pumpkin, shimmer, peach. Could you repeat those back for me, please? Yes, pumpkin, shimmer and peach. Brilliant. So, those are all correct. And let's do the next 3 words in your right ear also. Then we can move over to the left ear. Okay. Relaxation, chocolate, stipple. So I'm just going to repeat those once more for you. Okay. Relaxation, chocolate, stipple. Could you just repeat those back to me? Brilliant. Relaxation, chocolate, and stipple. Fantastic. Okay, so now we'll move on to your left ear. Okay. Blossom, cupcake, coconut. So I'll just repeat those once more. Blossom, cupcake, coconut. Brilliant. Blossom, cupcake, coconut. Fantastic. Okay, now moving on to the next 3 words that I'm also going to do into your left ear. Okay? Skittle, sunshine, popcorn. I'll just repeat those once more for you. Okay? Skittle, sunshine, popcorn. And could you please repeat those back for me now? Great. Skittle, sunshine, and popcorn. Brilliant. Okay, so again, your hearing is perfect. You were able to repeat all of those words correctly for me. And it's also promising to know that each ear is working as well as the other, which is great. Okay, so we're now going to move on to the final part of our examination today, which is your sense of touch. So, like I explained at the beginning of the examination, I'm simply going to be touching different areas of your face, and I would then like you to tell me on a scale of sensitivity, with 0 being you can't feel anything at all to 10 being very, very sensitive. I'd like you to tell me how sensitive it is for me to touch a particular area. Okay? Brilliant. So I'm just going to come up a little bit closer and I'm going to start by touching your forehead. Okay? Don't worry, just relax. I'm going to touch each area very, very gently. So just try and relax and enjoy. Okay? Now, if you wouldn't mind, would you tell me the number that you have chosen for that area? A 6. Okay, brilliant. Next, I'm going to go in and touch your under eye. Okay, again, very, very gently, and I won't be getting too close to your actual eye. So again, just try and relax for me, okay? which number would you assign to your under eye area? An 8. Okay, that is great. It's quite a sensitive area, so it's good that you're able to detect that. Brilliant. So I'm next going to feel down the bridge of your nose, okay? So again, just relax for me. Great. So do you have a number in mind? A 5. Okay, fabulous. Let me just make note of that. Next, I'm going to be touching your cheeks. Okay. Okay, now how would you rate that sensitivity? A 7. Okay, brilliant. Just make note of that number. Now I'm going to be feeling your jawline, okay? So on either side of your face, I'm just going to be tracing my fingers along that part, okay? That's it, just relax for me. Just one side at a time. Okay, so what would you say that number should be? A 9. Okay. Brilliant. So next I'm going to be feeling your ears. So again, just try and relax. Okay. Now, how would you rate that one? Okay, perfect. And now, very quickly, the final part is your chin. So, I'm just going to gently stroke your chin, and you can let me know how sensitive that feels. You'd say that's a 6. Okay, brilliant. So that is wonderful news. Again, with your sense of touch, every number there that you provided me with is within the normal range, and that just shows to me that your nerve and your sense of touch is working really, really well. Okay, so well done for performing so well today. I'm sure you'll be happy to know that your senses are all working as they should. So I'm going to keep note of your results here, and obviously then the next time you come in we'll have this to refer back to in case anything does change. Okay, so thank you so much for coming in today. It's always a pleasure to see you, and hopefully I'll be able to see you soon. Okay, you're welcome. Take care.